You were meant to see this today, my dear, because everything is realigning for you in quiet ways you may not yet understand. Take one slow breath, not a rushed breath, not the kind of breath you take while your mind is still running ahead of you, trying to fix the day, explain the past, or guess the future. Just one soft breath. Let it enter gently. Let it leave slowly. Let your body know that for this moment, it does not have to fight. Breathe. There are moments in life when a message appears at the exact time the heart is ready to receive it. Not before. Not too late. Right on time. And maybe this is one of those moments for you. Maybe you did not come here by accident. Maybe something in you has been asking for a sign, not always with words, but with tired eyes, a heavy chest, a quiet prayer, or a feeling that you cannot keep carrying life in the same old way. Perhaps this is not random. Perhaps this is a pause. Perhaps this is the moment your heart was ready to hear the truth. The truth is this: you are not lost. You are not outside the love of life. You are not forgotten by the universe. Something is moving, even if you cannot see it yet. Something is shifting behind the scenes, even if your outer world still looks the same. Something in your life is being gently brought back into order. You may be watching this with the dim screen light on your face. Maybe the room is quiet. Maybe the world around you is still busy, but inside, something feels tired. Maybe you have been trying to understand why things changed, why something slowed down, why a door closed, why a person pulled away, why your plans did not unfold the way you hoped. And maybe a part of you has been wondering, did I do something wrong? Did I miss my chance? Is life moving without me? Listen, you did not miss your chance. Life has not moved without you. Life has been moving for you, even when it looked like nothing was happening, even when you felt stuck, even when your heart could not see the next step. There was still a quiet wisdom at work. There was still a loving power guiding you. There was still a deeper order forming beneath the surface of your life. Sometimes life speaks in loud changes, but sometimes life speaks in soft feelings. A thought that returns again and again. A tiredness you can no longer ignore. A quiet knowing that something must change. A sudden pull toward peace. A deep wish to stop forcing what hurts. These small inner movements are not small at all. They are the beginning of realignment. Realignment does not always arrive like a big miracle. Sometimes it begins with a small feeling inside you that says, I cannot keep abandoning myself. Sometimes it begins when you no longer feel at home in old patterns. Sometimes it begins when the things you used to chase no longer feel peaceful. Sometimes it begins when you stop asking life to give you what your soul has already outgrown. And this may be why you were meant to see this today. not to be scared, not to be rushed, not to be told that you must fix everything at once, but to be reminded that there is a loving order moving through your life, even now, especially now. Place your attention on your heart for a moment. You do not have to close your eyes unless you want to. Just notice the center of your chest. Notice if it feels tight, open, heavy, soft, guarded, or tired. There is no wrong answer. Your heart has been doing its best. It has carried hope. It has carried fear. It has carried memories. It has carried prayers that no one else heard. So speak to it gently. I am safe in this moment. I am open to the message meant for me. I allow life to guide me with love. Let those words be simple. Do not try to make them powerful. Do not try to feel something big. Just let them be seeds. A seed does not become a tree in one breath. But the moment it is planted, life begins moving inside it. The same is true for you. The moment you become willing to trust again, even a little, life begins to soften inside you. The moment you stop fighting every unknown, peace begins to find a place to enter. The moment you say, maybe I am being guided, your energy changes. Your body hears you. Your heart hears you. The unseen parts of life hear you. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is not about denying that you have been hurt, confused, delayed, or tired. It is about remembering that difficulty is not the end of your story. Confusion is not the final answer. A closed door is not proof that you are unloved. A slow season is not proof that you are failing. It may simply mean you are standing at a threshold. A threshold is not the old room, and it is not yet the new one. It is the space between. It can feel strange there. It can feel quiet. It can feel like nothing is clear. But a threshold is sacred because it means movement is happening. You are not where you were, even if you are not yet where you want to be. My dear, do not be afraid of this in-between place. This is where life prepares you. This is where old fear begins to loosen. This is where you learn that peace does not come from knowing every answer. Peace comes from trusting that you are being guided while the answers form. So if something has felt unsettled, if your heart has been asking why, if your mind has been trying to hold every piece together, let this be a soft hand on your shoulder. You are not being asked to control the whole picture. You are only being asked to come back to this breath, this moment, this small opening in your heart. Take one slow breath again. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands rest. There is nothing you need to prove to life right now. You do not have to earn the right to be guided. You do not have to be perfect before good can come. You do not have to understand the whole path before you take the next kind step. The universe does not need you to panic in order to help you. Life does not need your fear in order to move. The good that belongs to you does not need you to chase it with a tired heart. What is meant for your peace will not require you to betray yourself to receive it. Everything is realigning for you in ways that may be quiet, but they are not empty. Maybe your taste is changing. Maybe your energy is changing. Maybe you no longer feel drawn to the same people, the same places, the same habits, the same thoughts. Maybe what once felt exciting now feels heavy. Maybe what once felt safe now feels too small. Maybe the old version of you is fading and the new version has not fully arrived yet. That can feel lonely. But it is not wrong. It is growth. It is realignment. A part of you is learning to stop clinging to what no longer feels like love. A part of you is learning to stop calling struggle normal. A part of you is learning that peace is not too much to ask for. A part of you is remembering that your life can feel softer than this. And yes, there may still be questions. There may still be moments when fear rises and says, "But what if nothing changes?" When that voice comes, do not fight it. Do not shame it. Fear is often just an old part of you trying to keep you safe. Speak to it gently. Tell it, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I am learning to trust life now." That is how healing begins. Not with force, with kindness, not with pressure, with willingness. You are allowed to receive this message slowly. You are allowed to let it meet you where you are. You do not need to become peaceful in one moment. You do not need to believe every word at once. You only need to open a small inner door and let a little light in. That is enough, because the smallest opening can change the whole room. When light enters, it does not ask the darkness to explain itself. It simply shines. In the same way, when a new truth enters your heart, it does not need to argue with every old fear. It simply begins to show you another way. And today, the new truth is this: what has felt delayed may still be on its way. What has felt broken may be clear in space. What has felt confusing may be guiding you toward a better path. What has felt like loss may become the reason you finally find yourself again. Stay with me, because the next part will help you understand why things have felt so strange lately. When life begins to realign, it often does not feel peaceful at first. It can feel messy. It can feel uncertain. It can feel like the ground beneath you is moving, even though you are trying so hard to stand still. You may feel more emotional than usual. You may feel tired of things you used to accept. You may feel pulled in one direction and afraid to leave another. You may feel like you are in between two lives, one that is ending and one that has not fully begun. Softly. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It may mean something old is leaving your life. And when something old leaves, even if it was heavy, even if it was not right for you, even if it did not bring you peace, your body can still feel afraid. The familiar is not always healthy, but it can feel safe because you know it. The unknown is not always dangerous, but it can feel scary because you do not know how it will unfold. That is why realignment can feel strange. It is like walking into a room where all the furniture has been moved. Nothing is missing, but everything feels different. You know you are still inside your life, but the old shape of it is changing. The chair is not where it used to be. The table has been moved. The window is open. The light is falling in a new place. At first, you may not know where to stand. This is what happens inside the heart, too. Life begins to move what no longer fits. It moves the beliefs that kept you small. It moves the hopes that were built on fear. It moves the attachments that made you forget your own worth. It moves the habits that kept you busy but not peaceful. It moves the thoughts that made you call yourself behind, broken, or unlucky. Sometimes life moves what no longer fits. Sometimes life moves what you were afraid to release. Sometimes life moves what your soul has outgrown. And while this movement is happening, you may feel unsettled. You may feel like crying without knowing why. You may want more rest. You may feel less interested in noise, drama, or old conversations. You may need quiet in a way you never needed before. This is not weakness. This is your inner world asking for space. My dear, there is a small ache that many people carry without noticing it. It may sit between the shoulder blades like a quiet weight. It may come from trying to hold everything together, trying to be strong, trying to understand every person, trying to make every plan work, trying to be okay before you are ready, trying to smile when your spirit is tired. For just 30 seconds, you do not have to fix that ache. You only have to notice it. Let your attention rest there gently, not with fear, not with judgment, just with kindness. If your body could speak, maybe it would say, I have been carrying too much. Maybe it would say, I need softness. Maybe it would say, please stop rushing me. So give it permission. Let it move. The body often knows before the mind understands. Your body may feel the need for change before your mind can explain it. Your chest may tighten around people or places that no longer feel right. Your stomach may feel uneasy when you keep saying yes to what your soul wants to say no to. Your breath may become shallow when you are trying to force something that is not aligned with your peace. These are not punishments. They are messages. They are gentle signals from within saying, come back to yourself. Fear may say, something is going wrong. Love says, something is being made right. Fear may say, you are losing control. Love says, you are learning to be held. Fear may say, you must keep everything the same. Love says, you are allowed to grow. This is the quiet battle that happens inside the heart during realignment. One part of you wants to stay with what is known. Another part of you feels called toward what is true. One part clings, another part opens. One part fears change. Another part knows that change may be the very thing that saves your peace. So if you have been feeling different lately, Do not rush to call it a problem. Maybe your spirit is no longer willing to live in old rooms. Maybe the cup of your life is being emptied so it can be filled with something better. Maybe the spaces that feel blank right now are not empty spaces at all. Maybe they are sacred spaces waiting for new blessings to enter. There are times when life removes something before you understand why. A plan changes. A person grows distant. A door does not open. A dream pauses. A routine breaks. At first, the mind may panic. It may try to rebuild the old picture as quickly as possible. It may say, "Put it back. Make it the way it was. I knew how to live there." But your soul may be whispering, "No, there is more for you now." That whisper is easy to miss when fear is loud. But it is there. It may not shout. It may not explain everything. It may simply feel like a quiet knowing that you cannot keep betraying your peace. It may feel like a soft pull toward rest, honesty, forgiveness, or change. It may feel like a deep need to stop forcing yourself to fit into places that make your heart shrink. When that whisper comes, honor it. You do not have to change everything in one day. You do not have to leave, decide, fix, answer, or rebuild everything right now. Realignment is not always a sudden leap. Sometimes it is one honest breath, one kinder thought, one boundary, one quiet no, one brave yes. One moment where you choose peace instead of old pressure. I trust the quiet changes. I allow life to make room for my good. I am willing to feel safe while things are shifting. Let those words move through you slowly. Because the truth is, when life is rearranging your inner world, it is not doing it to harm you. It is doing it to help you live in a way that matches who you are becoming. The things that no longer match may begin to feel heavy. Not because you are ungrateful, not because you are difficult, but because your soul is growing past them. A small shoe may have once fit a child perfectly, but when the child grows, the shoe begins to hurt. The shoe did not become evil. The child did not become wrong. Growth simply made the old fit painful. This is how some seasons, roles, relationships, and beliefs become uncomfortable. They may have belonged to an earlier version of you. They may have helped you survive. They may have taught you something. They may have carried you for a while. But now, they may not be able to carry the person you are becoming. So do not hate the old season. Bless it. Learn from it. Release your grip where love asks you to open. Realignment often begins with discomfort because discomfort gets your attention. It says, "Look here." It says, "This place is tight." It says, "This thought is hurting you." It says, "This pattern is done." It says, "You are ready for more peace." You may think you are waiting for life to change, but sometimes life is waiting for you to stop calling pain familiar and start calling it finished. That is not easy. It takes courage to admit that something is done, even if you do not yet know what comes next. It takes courage to stop chasing the old answer. It takes courage to let silence be silence without filling it with fear. It takes courage to allow space, but space is where new things arrive. A full cup cannot receive more. A crowded room cannot welcome a new guest. A heart packed with old fear cannot easily feel new peace. So when life begins to clear space, it may feel like loss, but it may also be preparation. Maybe the silence is space. Maybe the delay is space. Maybe the change is space. Maybe the ending is space. Maybe the tiredness is space. Maybe your heart is being given room to breathe again. And when you see it that way, the unsettled feeling becomes less frightening. You begin to understand that not every shake is destruction. Sometimes the shaking is life loosening what was stuck. Sometimes the shaking is the soul waking up. Sometimes the shaking is the first sign that a deeper peace is trying to enter. Think of a house that has been closed for a long time. The air inside can become stale. The rooms can become heavy. Dust can gather in corners. Then one day the windows open. Fresh air rushes in. Light enters. At first, the dust moves everywhere. It may look messier than before, but the mess is not a sign that the house is worse. It is a sign that the air is changing. That is what may be happening inside you. Old dust is rising. Old thoughts are being seen. Old pain is coming to the surface, not to hurt you again, but to leave. So when you feel unsettled, try not to close the window of your heart. Try not to say, "I cannot handle this." Instead, say gently, "Something is moving through me. Something is clearing. Something is making room." You are not required to enjoy every part of the process. You are allowed to feel confused. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to have days where trust feels far away. But even on those days, you can choose one soft thought. I am being guided. That is enough for the moment. You do not have to repeat it with perfect belief. You only have to let it be possible. Maybe I am being guided. Maybe this is not the end. Maybe life is making room for my good. Maybe I do not have to understand everything today. These gentle maybes are powerful. They open the heart without forcing it. They give the mind another path to walk. They stop fear from being the only voice in the room. And as you keep opening little by little, your energy begins to change. Your shoulders soften, your breath deepens, your face relaxes. You stop looking for danger in every delay. You stop calling every unknown a threat. You stop treating yourself like someone who must have all the answers before you deserve peace. My dear, you deserve peace now, not later, not when everything is solved, not when every person understands you, not when every plan is clear. Now, Peace does not mean everything outside you is finished. Peace means you are willing to stop fighting yourself while life is still unfolding. Peace means you can stand in the middle of change and say, I am safe enough to take the next breath. Peace means you can let life move the furniture around without believing the whole house is falling down. And yes, some things may leave, some patterns may not return. Some desires may change shape. Some people may not walk into the next chapter with you. Some doors may stay closed. But what is truly meant for your soul will not need to be forced into your life through fear. What is truly aligned with you will meet you in a way that does not require you to abandon your peace. This is why the unsettled feeling is not always a warning to go backward. Sometimes it is an invitation to go deeper, deeper into trust, deeper into honesty, deeper into self-love, deeper into the quiet truth that life is not against you. It is helping you become free. So if your world feels strange right now, do not rush to name it failure. Name it movement. Name it clearing. Name it transition. Name it the soft beginning of a life that fits your spirit better. I trust the quiet changes. I allow life to make room for my good. I do not need to fear the space that is opening. Let that settle in the body. Let it be simple. Let it be enough. Before we go deeper, there is something your heart may need to hear very gently. You are not being punished. You are not being left behind. You are not being forgotten. You are not outside the love of life. Still here, still guided. Those words may sound simple, but sometimes simple words are the ones the heart needs most. Because when life does not go the way you planned, the mind can quickly turn against itself. It can begin to search for blame. It can ask, what did I do wrong? It can say, maybe I am not worthy. It can whisper, maybe good things happen for other people, but not for me. Do not believe every fear your mind repeats. Fear often speaks from old pain, not from truth. Fear may remember times when you were disappointed. Fear may remember moments when you hoped and nothing seemed to happen. Fear may remember people who left, chances that passed, prayers that felt unanswered. And because fear remembers pain, it tries to protect you by telling you not to trust life again. But fear does not see the whole path. Fear only sees the closed door. Love sees the road beyond it. Worry says, I missed my chance. Trust says, what is mine can still find me. Worry says, this delay means no. Trust says, this delay may be preparing something better. Worry says, I am alone in this. Trust says, life is guiding me even here. My dear, there are doors that close because you are not meant to shrink yourself to fit behind them. There are plans that fall apart because they were built around an older version of you. There are people who drift away because your soul is learning peace, and their energy can no longer walk beside your new path. There are delays that save you from arriving too early. There are changes that feel like loss at first, but later become the very reason you find your way. This does not mean every hard thing feels good. It does not mean pain is easy. It does not mean you should pretend your heart was not hurt. It simply means that pain is not proof that life has abandoned you. A closed door is not proof that you are unloved. A slow season is not proof that nothing is working. Sometimes the universe redirects you quietly because there is something ahead that your current eyes cannot see. Think of a path through a wide field. You may be walking in one direction, sure that you know the way. Then suddenly the path bends. You may feel confused. You may even feel upset. Why this way? Why now? Why not straight ahead? But from where you stand, you cannot see what lies beyond the bend. You cannot see the broken bridge on the old road. You cannot see the softer ground on the new one. You cannot see the open space waiting farther ahead. Life can see more than you can see. That is why trust matters. Not blind trust that ignores your feelings. Not trust that asks you to smile when you are hurting. But a deeper trust that says, even though I do not understand this moment, I am willing to believe that love is still present. Let the soles of your feet feel the floor beneath you now. Notice that support. You may not think about it often, but it is there. The floor does not ask you to explain your worries before it holds you. The earth does not ask you to be perfect before it supports your steps. In this simple way, life is always giving you proof of support. Feel your feet. Feel this moment. You are still here. You are still being held. When the mind runs into the future, bring it back to the feet. When the heart begins to fear that everything is falling apart, bring it back to the breath. When worry says, "What if this is the end?" answer gently, "Or maybe this is a turn." A turn is not a failure. A turn is direction. A turn may be grace. Sometimes what you call rejection is really redirection. Sometimes what you call delay is really protection. Sometimes what you call silence is real lie preparation. Sometimes what you call loss is really space being made for a life that can love you better. Again, this does not mean you have to force yourself to be happy about every change. It means you can give yourself permission to see beyond the first feeling. The first feeling may be fear. The first feeling may be sadness. The first feeling may be confusion. Let it be there. But do not build your whole future from the first feeling. Feel it, honor it, then breathe. A deeper wisdom may arrive after the first wave passes. You may begin to see that the thing you wanted so badly was also asking you to forget yourself. You may begin to see that the place you tried to enter would have made you smaller. You may begin to see that the person you chased could not meet you with the love your heart was learning to give itself. You may begin to see that the delay taught you patience, strength, honesty, and self-respect. And one day you may look back and whisper, "I did not understand it then, but I was being guided." That day may not be today, and that is okay. You do not have to understand the blessing while you are still grieving the change. You do not have to see the whole picture while you are standing in the middle of it. You do not have to be grateful for the closed door before your heart is ready, but you can begin with a small willingness. I am willing to believe that life is guiding me. I am willing to believe that what is meant for me is not lost. I am willing to let a better path appear. These words are not heavy. They do not demand perfect faith. They simply open a small space where peace can begin. What is meant for me is not lost. My path is being guided with love. I am safe to take the next step. Let those words touch the part of you that has been afraid. The universe is not sitting somewhere far away, deciding whether you deserve good. Life is not waiting for you to become perfect before it brings you peace. You are not being tested in a cruel way. You are not being asked to suffer so you can prove your worth. Your worth was never in question. You were born worthy. You are worthy when you are clear. You are worthy when you are confused. You are worthy when you are strong. You are worthy when you are tired. You are worthy when you trust. You are worthy when trust feels hard. Nothing about this season has removed your worth. The redirection is not a punishment. It is an act of care. It may be life saying, "Not this way." It may be life saying, "Not with this energy." It may be life saying, "Not at the cost of your peace." It may be life saying, "There is another door, but you must stop crying at the one that closed long enough to notice it." This is where many hearts struggle, because we can become so attached to the way we thought good would come that we miss the way good is actually arriving. We decide the answer must come through one person, one plan, one path, one outcome. Then, when that path closes, we think the blessing is gone. But what if the blessing was never limited to that one path? What if life has many ways to reach you? What if the good that belongs to you can come through a door you have not even noticed yet? The mind likes one plan. The soul trusts many paths. The mind says it must happen this way. The soul says, "Let love choose the way." When you loosen your grip on one outcome, you do not lose your dream. You give life more room to bring it in the right form. Sometimes the form you wanted was too small. Sometimes the timing you wanted was too soon. Sometimes the person you wanted was not able to love you in the way your spirit needed. Sometimes the opportunity you wanted would have trapped you in a life you were meant to outgrow. So if something did not work, do not rush to call yourself unlucky. Pause. Ask gently, what might life be protecting in me? Maybe it is protecting your peace. Maybe it is protecting your future. Maybe it is protecting your heart from repeating an old wound. Maybe it is protecting the person you are becoming. Maybe it is making space for something that will not require so much pain to keep. This is not always easy to accept. There may be days when you still want the old door to open. There may be days when you still miss what left. There may be days when you feel angry that life did not follow your plan. Let those feelings move. Let them be honest. You do not have to cover your pain with spiritual words. But do not let pain convince you that there is no guidance. Pain is a feeling. Guidance is still present. You can feel pain and still be guided. You can cry and still be held. You can be unsure and still be moving towards something good. You can have questions and still be loved by life. This is important because sometimes people think faith means never feeling afraid, but real faith is softer than that. Real faith is the quiet choice to place your hand on your heart while fear is present and say, I am not alone here. Real faith is taking one small step while the whole road is not clear. Real faith is letting yourself rest before the answer comes. Real faith is refusing to speak to yourself as if you are the enemy. You are not the enemy. Your past is not the enemy. Your fear is not the enemy. Even your confusion is not the enemy. All of it is asking for love. When you give love to the places inside you that feel scared, you stop fighting yourself. And when you stop fighting yourself, you can hear guidance more clearly. It may come as a calm thought. It may come as a sense of relief. It may come as a soft no. It may come as a quiet yes. It may come as a desire to rest, to wait, to speak, to leave, to forgive, to begin again. Guidance often feels simple. It does not always arrive with drama. It may not explain the next 10 years. It may only show you the next 10 minutes. Drink water, take a breath, send the message. Do not send the message. Rest. Try again tomorrow. Say the truth. Let it go. These small steps matter. They are how a new path is built. Not all at once, not with pressure, not by forcing the future open, but by honoring the next loving step that is available now. When a bridge ours, you do not need to see the whole land on the other side before you place one foot forward. You only need to trust the step beneath you, then the next, then the next. This is how redirection becomes a path. This is how the unknown becomes familiar. This is how fear becomes faith, not in one great leap, but in many small returns to trust. So if life has turned you in a new direction, do not shame yourself for feeling unsure. New paths can feel strange at first. Your feet may still remember the old road. Your mind may still look backward. Your heart may still ask questions. Let that be human. Let that be part of the journey. But do not go backward just because forward feels new. Do not return to what hurt you just because healing feels unfamiliar. Do not call the old room home if your soul can no longer breathe there. You are being invited into a life that fits your truth more deeply. That invitation may begin with a closed door. It may begin with silence. It may begin with a change you did not choose. It may begin with a feeling that you cannot go on the old way. But beneath all of it, there is love. Not loud love, not forceful love, quiet love. Guiding love, the kind of love that moves things out of the way when you are too afraid to move them yourself. The kind of love that lets something end because your spirit needs a new beginning. The kind of love that does not always give you what you ask for, but always leads you toward what helps your soul grow. You are not being punished. You are being redirected. You are not being rejected. You are being protected. You are not too late. You are being prepared. Let those words be a hand to hold inside your mind. Let them walk with you through the next few days. When doubt comes, repeat them. When fear rises, repeat them. When you look at a closed door and feel your heart sink, repeat them. What is meant for me is not lost. My path is being guided with love. I am willing to trust the turn. And as you say this, feel your feet on the floor again. Feel the support beneath you. Feel the breath entering your body. Feel the quiet proof that life is still here, still holding you, still giving you another moment, another chance, another step. Still here, still guided. Notice what your mind says when life becomes quiet. Notice the first words that rise when something does not happen on your time. Notice what you tell yourself when a door does not open. Notice the sentence that comes when a person does not answer, when a plan changes, when the day feels heavy, when the future feels unclear. Do you speak to yourself with love, or do you speak to yourself like you are already failing? Notice. This matters, my dear, because realignment does not only happen around you, it begins inside you. It begins in the small words you repeat when no one else is listening. It begins in the way you name your season. It begins in the way you speak to your own heart when life feels slow. If you keep saying, "Nothing is working," your body hears that. If you keep saying, "I am always behind," your heart hears "T hat." If you keep saying, "Good things never stay for me," your spirit hears that. And little by little, those words become like old writing on a blackboard. They sit there in the mind. They shape what you expect. They shape what you notice. They shape what you allow. They shape how much good you believe can come to you. But here is the gentle truth. Old writing can be erased. You are not trapped inside the thoughts you learned. You are not trapped inside the words you heard from others. You are not trapped inside the fear that has repeated itself for years. A thought may feel strong because it is familiar, but familiar does not mean true. Choose again. A thought is not a command. A thought is not a life sentence. A thought is only a thought, and when it does not love you, you are allowed to question it. You are allowed to say, "This thought is old." You are allowed to say, "This thought is not kind." You are allowed to say, "This thought does not belong in the new life I am growing into." Realignment begins the moment you stop feeding the thoughts that make you feel small. It begins when you hear the old voice say, "You are too late," and you answer, "No, I am growing in the right time." It begins when the old voice says, "You ruined everything," and you answer, "No, I am learning, healing, and becoming wiser." It begins when the old voice says, "You are alone," and you answer, "No, life is still guiding me. My thoughts are becoming kinder. My life is becoming lighter. I am willing to speak to myself with love." Let that be simple. Let those words rest inside you like a soft light. You do not have to change every thought in one day. That would only become another kind of pressure. You do not have to watch your mind with fear. You do not have to scold yourself for every old sentence that rises. That is not healing. That is just another way of fighting yourself. Healing is softer. Healing says, "I see the thought and I choose again." The mind is like a board that has been written on many times. Some words were written by fear. Some were written by disappointment. Some were written by people who did not know how to love you well. Some were written during seasons when you were only trying to survive. And because those words stayed there so long, you may have started to believe they were part of you. But they are not the truth of you. They are only marks. They can be softened. They can be cleared. They can be replaced. The new words you choose do not have to be grand. They do not have to sound perfect. They only have to be loving enough to open a door inside you. Instead of "I am stuck," try "I am being guided step by step." Instead of "Nothing is changing," try "Something is moving, even if I cannot see it yet." Instead of "I am not ready," try "I am willing to grow into readiness." Instead of "I always lose," try "What is meant for me can still find me." These are not empty words. They are small acts of care. Each kind thought is like wiping away one old line from the board of your mind. Each loving sentence gives your heart a little more room. Gentle answer tells your body, "We are safe now. We do not have to live from fear." From today, I choose kinder thoughts. From today, I choose softer words. From today, I choose to stop calling delay a failure. From today, I choose to believe that life can still bless me. Pause with that. Let your tongue rest softly in your mouth. Notice the quiet moment before you speak, even if you are only speaking inside your mind. There is power there. There is a small space between the old thought and the new choice. That space may seem tiny, but it is where your life begins to change. You do not need to believe the new thought fully at first. You only need to practice it. A new thought is like a new path through a field. At first, the grass is tall. The old path is easier because you have walked it many times. But each time you choose the new thought, your feet press the grass down a little more. The path becomes clearer. The mind begins to learn another way. This is why repetition matters. Not hard repetition, not forced repetition, loving repetition. A child learns through hearing love again and again. Your inner world is the same. It needs to hear peace more than once. It needs to hear safety more than once. It needs to hear, you are loved, you are guided, you are enough, not only when life is easy, but especially when life feels uncertain. My dear, your mind may have practiced fear for a long time, so be patient while it learns peace. Do not demand that it become calm in one day. Do not hate it for being worried. Do not say, why am I like this? Say, I am learning a new way. That is kinder. That is truer. That opens the heart. I am learning a new way. I am safe to think new thoughts. I welcome the words that help me heal. Now, here is a simple practice. Later today or tonight before sleep, take a small piece of paper or open a quiet page in your journal. Write only 3 lines. I am safe. I am guided. I am ready for good. Only 3 lines. Do not turn it into a big task. Do not make it hard. Do not wait until you feel perfectly peaceful. Write them as you are. Write them with a tired hand if you need to. Write them with a soft breath. Write them even if a part of you doubts them. The page is not asking for perfect belief. It is only asking for your willingness. 3 lines can become a doorway. 3 lines can interrupt an old pattern. 3 lines can remind your mind that another story is possible. And when you write them, let yourself feel the meaning slowly. I am safe does not mean every detail is solved. It means in this breath you can stop attacking yourself. I am guided does not mean you know the whole road. It means the next step can come when it is time. I am ready for good does not mean you have to chase it. It means you are willing to stop pushing it away with fear. This is how realignment begins inside your thoughts. Not with pressure, not with panic, not with trying to become someone else. It begins with one gentle correction. It begins with one honest moment. It begins with one loving sentence spoken inside the mind. You may have spent years, speaking to yourself in ways you would never speak to someone you love. You may have called yourself foolish for trusting. You may have called yourself weak for feeling. You may have called yourself behind because your path did not look like someone else's. You may have called yourself difficult because your soul wanted more peace. But those words were never your home. You can leave them now. You can begin to speak like someone who is on your own side. You can begin to speak like someone who believes your life still has beauty ahead. You can begin to speak like someone who knows that the universe is not finished with you. Choose again. When an old thought comes, do not be afraid of it. Just look at it gently. Ask, does this thought help me open, or does it make me close? Ask, does this thought bring me closer to love or deeper into fear? Ask, would I say this to someone I truly care about? If the answer is no, then soften it. Change it. Bless it and let it pass. You do not need to argue with every old thought. Some thoughts are like clouds. They move across the mind. Let them move. You do not have to follow them. You do not have to build a house inside them. You do not have to believe the weather is permanent. A fearful thought can pass. A loving thought can be chosen. A peaceful thought can be practiced. My thoughts are becoming kinder. My words are becoming softer. My life is becoming lighter. This is a sacred kind of work, quiet work, inner work. No one may see it happening. No one may clap for you when you choose not to believe in old fear. No one may know that you stopped yourself from repeating a painful story. No one may notice when you changed one sentence from "I am lost" to "I am being guided." But your life notices, your body notices, your energy notices. The universe notices the moment you stop agreeing with fear and begin to agree with love. And slowly, the outside begins to answer the inside. You may feel calmer in the same situations. You may stop chasing people who bring confusion. You may begin to notice doors you once ignored. You may feel a new kind of strength rise in you. Not loud strength, not hard strength. A quiet strength that says, I can meet this moment without abandoning myself. That is realignment. That is the new life beginning in a small place. That is your inner world becoming ready for the outer shift. Because when you change the words you live by, you change the way you walk through life. You no longer enter every room expecting rejection. You no longer look at every delay as proof of failure. You no longer treat every unknown as danger. You begin to carry a softer belief. Maybe life is helping me. Maybe I am safe to receive. Maybe good is closer than I think. And those maybes become openings. Those openings become peace. that peace becomes a new path. There comes a moment when the heart becomes tired of asking why. Why did this happen? Why did they leave? Why did the door close? Why did the answer take so long? Why did I have to go through that? These questions are human. They are not wrong. When something hurts, the mind wants a reason. It wants to hold the pain in its hands and understand its shape. It wants to find a clear answer so it can finally rest. But sometimes, my dear, life does not give the answer right away. Sometimes the answer comes later. Sometimes the answer is not a sentence. Sometimes the answer is a new path. Pause. If you keep asking why, you may keep looking backward. But if you begin asking what is opening, your heart slowly turns toward the light. What is this moment making room for? What part of me is being strengthened? What old pattern is being broken? What new peace is trying to enter? What good could come through a door I did not expect? Open. This is not about denying pain. It is not about pretending that something difficult was easy. It is not about forcing yourself to be grateful before your heart is ready. It is about giving your spirit another question to live with. A question that does not trap you in the old room. A question that opens a window. The next part is the part many people skip, but it is where real peace begins. Real peace begins when you stop demanding that life explain every turn before you allow yourself to breathe. Real peace begins when you say, I may not understand this yet, but I am willing to see what it is teaching me. Real peace begins when you stop using the unknown as proof that nothing is working. The unknown may not be empty. The unknown may be full of quiet movement. It may be full of healing you cannot see yet. It may be full of people being moved, timing being prepared, strength being formed, and old energy being cleared. It may be full of blessings that are not ready to show themselves, but are still on their way. What if the delay is making space? What if the silence is protecting your peace? What if the change is opening a better door? Let those questions be soft. Do not use them to force hope. Use them to loosen fear. There may be a warm cup near you that you forgot to drink. Tea, coffee, water, anything simple. Notice it for a moment. Notice how easy it is to forget what is already supporting you when the mind is busy with what it does not understand. This is what worry does. It pulls the eyes away from the small gifts that are still here. It makes the heart stare at the closed door until it forgets the open window. But the window is there. Light may still be entering. Air may still be moving. Something may still be possible. I do not need every answer today. I am willing to see this moment differently. I allow a new door to open in my heart. When you ask, what is opening? You are not giving up on the answer. You are changing your position. You are no longer standing with your face pressed against the past. You are turning gently toward what life may be trying to show you now. Maybe patience is opening. Maybe self-respect is opening. Maybe a new kind of love is opening. Maybe a better dream is opening. Maybe the courage to choose yourself is opening. Maybe the space to heal is opening. Maybe the simple gift of peace is opening. Sometimes the thing you want, it did not come because your life was making room for something more honest. Sometimes the person did not stay because your heart was learning not to beg for love. Sometimes the plan changed because your spirit needed a path with more freedom. Sometimes the delay happened because the version of you who could hold the blessing was still being formed. This does not make the waiting easy, but it gives the waiting meaning, and meaning can help the heart breathe. My dear, when you ask only why, the mind often begins to blame. It may blame you. It may blame life. It may blame timing. It may blame the past. It may go in circles until you feel even more tired. But when you ask, what is opening, the mind begins to look for a doorway. That doorway may be small at first. It may be one new thought, one honest feeling, one peaceful choice, one person who feels safe, one day where you do not cry as much, one moment where you laugh and realize your heart is still alive. Do not dismiss small openings. A window does not have to be wide open for fresh air to enter. Even a little opening can change the whole room. Even a little hope can change the way you stand inside your life. Even a little trust can soften the fear that has been sitting in your chest. Before we continue, comment one simple word your heart needs today: peace, trust, healing, or yes. Let that word be a small promise to yourself, not to the world, not to anyone watching, to yourself. A promise that you are willing to open, even if only a little. A promise that you are willing to stop living only from old pain. A promise that you are willing to believe that this season may still hold good. You were meant to see this today because your heart may be ready to ask a new question. Not, why was this taken? But, what is being given through this change? Not, why am I behind? But, what is growing in me right now? Not, why did that door close? But, what door is now safe for me to notice? This shift is gentle, but powerful. It moves you from helplessness into trust. It moves you from fear into curiosity. It moves you from staring at loss into listening for guidance. And guidance often appears when the mind becomes quiet enough to hear it. Sometimes guidance sounds like rest. Sometimes it sounds like wait. Sometimes it sounds like speak the truth. Sometimes it sounds like let this go. Sometimes it sounds like try again, but with love. Sometimes it sounds like you do not have to carry this anymore. These are not loud messages. They may feel like soft inner nudges. They may come while you are washing a cup, walking across a room, sitting in silence, or waking in the middle of the night with a clearer heart. Life speaks in simple ways. The soul understands simple truth. You do not need to chase signs everywhere. You do not need to make every small event mean something huge. You only need to become quiet enough to notice what brings peace and what brings pressure. Peace does not always mean easy. Pressure does not always mean wrong. But deep inside, there is often a knowing, a soft yes, a clear no, a feeling of opening, a feeling of closing. Pay attention, not with fear, with kindness. I listen to the quiet wisdom within me. I trust the openings life is showing me. I am willing to walk through peace. There is a reason the heart often feels lighter when it stops fighting reality. It is not because the heart has stopped caring. It is because the heart has stopped trying to drag the past into the future. It has stopped trying to make the closed door become the only door. It has stopped asking life to prove love in only one way. Life has more than one way to bless you. Life has more than one path to reach you. Life has more than one answer for your prayer. Sometimes the answer comes as healing before the thing arrives. Sometimes the answer comes as strength before the door opens. Sometimes the answer comes as self-love before the relationship. Sometimes the answer comes as peace before the money. Sometimes the answer comes as clarity before the change. Do not reject the early gifts because they do not look like the final answer. The calm that returns is a gift. The strength that rises is a gift. The wisdom that grows is a gift. The space that opens is a gift. The self-respect you are learning is a gift. Maybe everything is realigning for you first on the inside, so that when the outer blessing comes, you do not lose yourself trying to keep it. This is important. A blessing that meets an unhealed fear may be pushed away, doubted, chased, controlled, or made heavy. But a blessing that meets a calmer heart can be received. It can be trusted. It can be enjoyed. It can be held without panic. So if life is teaching you to open, it is not wasting time. It is preparing you to receive without fear. You may have prayed for a new beginning, but new beginnings need space. They need a mind that is not full of old stories. They need a heart that is not fully locked. They need hands that are not gripping what has already ended. They need an inner window open enough for fresh air. So when you feel the urge to ask, why did it happen this way? Pause and add another question. What is opening now? Ask it in the morning. Ask it when worry rises. Ask it when the old story tries to return. Ask it when you feel disappointed. Ask it when a plan changes. Ask it when silence feels too loud. What is opening now? Maybe the answer will not come right away. that is okay. A good question can sit in the heart like a candle. It does not force the room to become bright all at once. It simply shines where it is. And little by little you begin to see. You begin to see that you are stronger than you thought. You begin to see that some endings saved your peace. You begin to see that you can live without the thing you once thought you could not lose. You begin to see that your heart can heal. You begin to see that the future is not closed. You begin to see that life has been quietly leaving windows open for you. I do not need every answer today. I am willing to see this moment differently. Something good can still open for me. Let this become the new way you meet uncertainty. Not with panic, not with force, not with the old need to control every detail. Meet it with a softer question. Meet it with a gentle breath. Meet it with the simple belief that life may still be for you, even when it is not explaining itself. And when your mind says, "But I still do not understand," answer with love. I know, and we can still breathe. When your mind says, "But what if nothing opens?" answer with love. Something is already opening inside me. When your mind says, "But I am afraid," answer with love. Fear can be here, and I can still take one kind step. This is how you stop being trapped by why. You begin to live inside what is possible. You begin to feel the window. You begin to notice the light. You begin to let fresh air in. A new door does not ask you to become perfect before you walk through it. It asks you to become present. It asks you to become honest. It asks you to become open enough to receive what is better without pulling old fear into the new space. Relax. Receive. There are blessings that cannot feel peaceful if you bring the old panic with you. There are new chapters that need a calmer version of you, not because you are unworthy now, but because your peace helps you recognize what is truly right for you. When your energy is tight with fear, even good things can feel unsafe. But when your energy becomes calmer, you can receive without needing to control every detail. This is why your energy matters. Energy is not a hard idea. It is simply the feeling you carry. It is the mood beneath your words. It is the message your body sends before you speak. It is the tightness or softness in your chest. It is the way you enter a room. It is the way you answer life. When you are filled with fear, you may rush. You may push. You may say yes when you mean no. You may chase people who are not meeting you with care. You may hold on to plans that no longer bring peace. You may mistake anxiety for action. But when your energy is calm, you begin to choose differently. You pause before answering. You listen before forcing. You notice what feels heavy. You trust what feels peaceful. You stop running after what keeps running away. You let the right things meet you without losing yourself. My energy is calm. My heart is open. I am ready to receive what is right for me. Think of yourself like a magnet, not in a magical or confusing way. Simply in the sense that what you carry inside often shapes what you reach for, what you accept, and what you notice. If your inner world says, "I must struggle to be loved," you may keep reaching for situations that ask you to struggle. If your inner world says, "I must prove my worth," you may keep choosing paths that make you perform for peace. If your inner world says, "I am safe to receive," you begin to notice what feels kinder, clearer, and more aligned. This is not blame. This is power. You are not to blame for what hurt you. You are not to blame for what you were taught. You are not to blame for the fear you carried. But now, with love, you can begin to choose a new inner signal, a signal of peace, a signal of worth, a signal of trust, a signal that says, "I do not need to force what is mine. I do not need to beg for what is loving. I do not need to chase what is aligned with me." Control says, "I must force it now." Blessing says, "Let me arrive in the right way." Control says, "If I do not push, I will lose it." Blessing says, "What is right for you will not need fear to stay." Control says, "I need to know every detail." Blessing says, "Take the next step and let the rest unfold." This is the place where many people struggle. They say they want a new door, but they keep holding the old key. They say they want peace, but they keep feeding the same fear. They say they want love, but they keep speaking to themselves without kindness. They say they want change, but they keep calling the unknown dangerous. Do not judge yourself if you have done this. Most people do. The old energy can feel normal because you have lived with it so long. Worry can feel like care. Overthinking can feel like preparation. Control can feel like safety. But deep down, you know when something is draining your spirit. You know when your body is tired from carrying a story that no longer helps you. Place your attention on the air just above your collarbones. Notice the breath there. Maybe it feels tight. Maybe it feels shallow. Maybe it feels soft. Do not change it too fast. Just notice. This part of the body often holds the feeling of waiting. Waiting for news. Waiting for answers. Waiting for someone to choose you. Waiting for the future to prove that you are safe. But you can offer safety to yourself now. Take a slow breath into that space. Let it soften. Let it open. Let your body learn that this moment is not your enemy. For the next 90 seconds, you can practice a simple reset. You do not need anything special. Put one hand on your heart if that feels right. Let your breath slow down. Say one peaceful sentence again and again. I am safe to receive what is right for me. Say it gently, not as a command, as comfort. I am safe to receive what is right for me. I am safe to receive what is right for me. I am safe to receive what is right for me. Let the words meet the breath. Let the breath meet the body. Let the body meet the moment. You may feel only a small shift, and that is enough. A small shift is still a shift. A little softness is still softness. A little peace is still peace. The body does not always open all at once. Sometimes it opens like a flower at dawn, slowly, quietly, petal by petal. And this is how you become ready for the new door. Not by forcing yourself to be fearless, not by pretending you never doubt, not by acting as if the past never hurt. You become ready by choosing peace again, even after fear returns. You become ready by calming your energy before you make a choice. You become ready by listening to the body when it says, "This feels heavy," or "This feels clear." You become ready by refusing to enter the new chapter with the same old self-abandonment. A new door may require a new way of standing, a softer way, a truer way, a way that does not beg, a way that does not shrink, a way that does not rush past the voice of your own soul. My energy is calm. My heart is open. I receive with trust, not fear. There is a difference between inspired action and fearful action. Fearful action feels tight. It feels rushed. It says, "Do something now, or everything will fall apart." It often comes with panic in the chest, pressure in the head, and a feeling that you must prove your worth quickly. Inspired action feels different. It may still take courage, but it does not feel like self-betrayal. It has a quiet clarity. It feels like the next honest step. It may say, "Send this message." It may say, "Apply for this." It may say, "Rest today." It may say, "Speak the truth." It may say, "Do not go back." It may say, "Wait one more day." Both fear and guidance can speak loudly inside the mind, but the body often knows the difference. Fear tightens. Guidance steadies. Fear rushes. Guidance leads. Fear says, "You are running out of time." Guidance says, "The right step will appear." This is why calm energy is not weakness. Calm energy is strength. It gives you the space to hear what is real. It helps you stop confusing panic with truth. It helps you stop making choices only to escape discomfort. It helps you see which door brings peace and which door only repeats the old lesson. When your energy becomes calm, you may notice that some things no longer pull you the same way. The message you wanted to send may not feel needed. The person you wanted to chase may not feel worth losing yourself for. The plan you thought you had to force may begin to feel too small. The door you were begging to open may no longer look like love. This can be surprising. It can also be freeing, because calmness shows you what fear was hiding. Fear makes everything feel urgent. Calmness shows you what is true. Fear makes you think you must accept less. Calmness reminds you that peace is part of the blessing. Fear makes you chase signs. Calmness helps you become the sign that you are ready. You do not have to shout your desire at life. You do not have to grip it until your hands ache. You do not have to keep checking, forcing, proving, or begging. You can hold your desire with open hands. You can say this or something better in the right way at the right time for the highest good. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you care without fear leading you. It means you take steps without attacking yourself. It means you stay open without becoming desperate. It means you trust that what is meant for you does not need you to become hard in order to receive it. I choose calm action. I choose open hands. I choose the door that honors my peace. My dear, the new door is not only outside you, it is also inside you. It is the door to a new way of being, a way where you stop asking fear for advice, a way where you stop making your worth depend on who stays, who answers, who approves, or who understands. A way where you stand in your own ease, energy, and say, I am already whole. From that place, life feels different. You do not wait like someone who has been forgotten. You wait like someone who is being prepared. You do not act like someone who must prove their value. You act like someone who knows their value. You do not receive like someone who expects loss. You receive like someone who knows good can stay. This is alignment in simple words. Your inner life and your outer choices begin to match. You say you want peace and you stop choosing chaos. You say you want love, and you stop speaking to yourself with hate. You say you want abundance, and you stop calling yourself unlucky. You say you want healing, and you stop reopening every old wound just to check if it still hurts. You say you want a new door, and you stop sleeping outside the old one. This is not done in one moment. It is practiced again and again, breath by breath, choice by choice, day by day. And when you forget, you come back. When fear rises, you come back. When control tightens your chest, you come back. When worry says, do something now, you come back to the heart and ask, is this love or is this panic? That question can save you from many old patterns. Is this love or is this panic? Is this peace or is this pressure? Is this guidance or is this fear? You do not need to answer perfectly. Just asking the question creates space. And in that space, your soul can speak, relax, receive. Let the new door meet the calmer version of you. Let your energy become a welcome place for what is good. Let your heart become less crowded with fear. Let your body learn that it does not have to chase to be blessed. Something is realigning for you, but it may require you to stop standing in the old energy that once kept you safe, but now keeps you small. It may require you to stop repeating, I am behind. It may require you to stop holding your breath around the future. It may require you to stop treating uncertainty like a threat and begin treating it like a space where life can surprise you. The new door is not asking for your panic. It is asking for your presence. It is asking for your trust. It is asking for your open heart. I am safe to receive what is right for me. I am calm enough to recognize my next step. I allow the right door to open in the right way. And as those words settle, stay with the breath. Stay with the soft space above the collarbones. Stay with the feeling of your hand near your heart. Stay with the part of you that wants to believe life can become lighter. You do not have to force the door. You do not have to break it open. You do not have to become someone else to walk through it. You only have to keep becoming more honest, more peaceful, more loving toward yourself, and more willing to trust that the door meant for your soul will not require you to lose your soul to enter it. There comes a quiet moment when you begin to feel that the old version of you can no longer lead the new life that is calling you. You may not be able to explain it clearly. You may only feel it in small ways. You may feel tired of the same fear, tired of the same worry, tired of shrinking yourself so other people feel comfortable, tired of saying yes when your heart is begging for rest, tired of carrying stories that make you feel small. Enough. This is not anger. This is not failure. This is your soul telling you that you are ready to put something down. For a long time, you may have worn old fear like a heavy coat. Maybe you put it on when you were young. Maybe you put it on when life disappointed you. Maybe you put it on after someone left, after something failed, after you felt unseen, unheard, or unloved. And because you wore it for so long, you may have forgotten it was not truly part of you. You may have called it your personality. You may have called it being careful. You may have called it being realistic. You may have called it protection. But my dear, not everything that once protected you is meant to stay with you forever. A heavy coat can warm you in winter, but if you keep wearing it under the summer sun, it begins to weigh you down. It begins to make every step harder. It begins to make you tired. It begins to make you believe life is heavier than it really is. Some of the fear you carry may have once helped you survive. It may have helped you stay alert. It may have helped you avoid pain. It may have helped you feel in control when life felt unsafe. So do not hate that old part of you. Do not speak to it with shame. It was trying to protect you, but now a new part of you is rising, a softer part, a wiser part, a calmer part, a part that knows you do not have to carry fear in order to be safe. Put it down. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to outgrow old fear. You are allowed to stop carrying what hurts. You are allowed to become lighter. Let those words move through you slowly. They are not asking you to become someone else. They are asking you to return to the self beneath the fear, the self that knows how to trust, the self that can breathe without waiting for danger, the self that can receive love without asking, "When will this be taken away?" the self that can walk forward without needing the past to approve. Maybe this is what is happening in your life right now. Maybe the old version of you is being gently released. Not because it was bad, not because it failed, not because it did everything wrong, but because it carried you as far as it could, and now your soul is ready for more peace. You may feel this release in your hands. Notice your hands for a moment. Maybe they are holding the phone. Maybe they are resting in your lap. Maybe they are tight without you even realizing it. Let them soften. Let the fingers loosen. Let the palms open just a little. The hands often tell the truth before the mouth does. Tight hands say, "I must hold on." Open hands say, "I am willing to receive." So breathe into your hands. Let them unclench. Let them rest. There may be things you have held for years. Old guilt, old shame, old names people called you, old mistakes you still punish yourself for, old memories that return when you are trying to sleep, old dreams that did not happen the way you hoped, old versions of yourself you keep judging as if you should have known then what you know now. But you are allowed to stop punishing yourself for being human. You are allowed to forgive the version of you who did not know how to choose better. You are allowed to forgive the version of you who stayed too long. You are allowed to forgive the version of you who loved with an open heart and was hurt. You are allowed to forgive the version of you who did the best they could with the understanding they had at the time. That version of you does not need your judgment. That version of you needs your love. I release what no longer belongs to my heart. I welcome the self I am becoming. I let myself become lighter. The new self is not hard. The new self is not cold. The new self does not need to hate the past in order to move forward. The new self simply knows, I have learned from that. I do not need to live there anymore. This is the beauty of release. Release does not mean you deny what happened. It means what happened no longer gets to hold the center of your life. Release does not mean you forget. It means you stop letting the memory lead every choice. Release does not mean you were never hurt. It means you are no longer willing to build your whole future from the wound. You can honor the lesson without carrying the weight. You can remember the past without wearing it like a coat. You can love who you were without becoming trapped there. The old version of you may have believed that love must be earned. The new version of you is learning that love can be received. The old version of you may have believed that peace comes after everything is fixed. The new version of you is learning that peace can begin right here. The old version of you may have believed that being needed is the same as being loved. The new version of you is learning that real love does not require you to disappear. The old version of you may have believed that if you tried harder, chased longer, and proved more, life would finally reward you. The new version of you is learning that what is meant for you can meet you in peace. This is a deep change. It may not happen loudly. It may happen in quiet choices. You stop answering every call that drains you. You stop explaining your heart to people who do not want to understand. You stop calling yourself difficult for needing rest. You stop saying yes just to avoid guilt. You stop returning to places where your spirit feels small. These small choices are sacred. They are how the old coat comes off. One button at a time, one breath at a time, one honest choice at a time. Later today, take 2 minutes of quiet, only 2 minutes. Sit somewhere simple. It does not need to be a perfect place. You can sit on the edge of your bed, in a chair, by a window, or anywhere you can hear yourself think. Ask gently, what am I ready to stop carrying? Do not force the answer. Let it rise. Maybe the answer is blame. Maybe the answer is fear. Maybe the answer is someone else's opinion. Maybe the answer is the belief that you are behind. Maybe the answer is the old need to be perfect before you allow yourself to rest. Whatever rises, do not fight it. Just notice it. Place one hand over your heart and say, I am willing to put this down. That willingness is powerful. You do not have to release everything at once. Some things leave slowly. Some fears loosen in layers. Some pain needs tenderness before it can move. That is okay. Healing is not a race. Becoming lighter is not about forcing yourself to be free by tomorrow. It is about choosing again and again not to keep picking up what your soul is trying to release. My dear, there is a new version of you forming right now. This version is not perfect. This version still has feelings. This version may still cry. This version may still have questions. But this version is more honest, more loving toward the self, more willing to trust peace, more willing to stop calling pain familiar and start calling it finished. Do not be afraid of becoming someone new. You are not losing yourself. You are meeting yourself. The real you has been beneath the fear all along. Beneath the worry, beneath the people-pleasing, beneath the old guilt, beneath the heavy coat, beneath the need to prove, beneath the habit of carrying too much, the real you is still there, soft, wise, worthy, ready. And as the old version falls away, you may feel empty for a while. That is normal. When you stop carrying something heavy, your body may not know what to do with the space at first. When you stop chasing, the stillness may feel strange. When you stop living in survival, peace may feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. Peace may feel new because you have spent so much time preparing for pain. Let peace become familiar now. Let calm become familiar. Let kindness become familiar. Let being loved without proving become familiar. Let receiving without fear become familiar. Everything is realigning for you. And part of that realignment is this. You are being guided out of the old way of being. You are being guided out of the tightness, out of the endless waiting for something outside you to tell you that you are enough, out of the belief that you must suffer to be worthy of good. You are already worthy. You are worthy while healing. You are worthy while changing. You are worthy while learning to put things down. So take a breath and imagine that heavy coat slipping from your shoulders. Imagine it falling to the ground. You do not need to kick it away. You do not need to hate it. You can simply look at it and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I do not need to wear you now." Then feel the air touch your heart. Feel the space around you. Feel the lightness that begins when you stop carrying what was never meant to stay. I release what no longer belongs to my heart. I welcome the self I am becoming. I am safe to become lighter. Gratitude is one of the softest ways to tell life, I am ready to receive more good. It does not need to be loud. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to deny pain. True gratitude is not pretending that everything is easy. True gratitude is choosing to notice that even in a hard season, life is still giving something. Thank you. That simple phrase can open the heart. Thank you for the breath that is still here. Thank you for the body that has carried me through so much. Thank you for the small signs of good that I am learning to see. Gratitude does not erase what hurts. It gives the heart a wider place to stand. It reminds you that the hard thing is not the only thing. Yes, something may be changing. Yes, something may feel uncertain. Yes, you may still be waiting. But there may also be light on the wall, a cup of tea in your hand, a kind word, a quiet room, a breath that softens your chest, a moment where you realize you are still here. More is coming. Sometimes we wait for a big blessing before we give thanks. We say, when the door opens, then I will be grateful. When the answer comes, then I will relax. When the healing happens, then I will trust. But gratitude works in a different way. Gratitude begins before the full answer appears. It prepares the inner soil. It makes the heart softer. It helps the mind look for good instead of only looking for danger. Think of your mind like a garden. Every thought is a seed. Every word is water. Every feeling gives something room to grow. If you plant only fear, fear grows. If you water only lack, lack grows. If you keep saying, nothing good ever happens for me, the mind begins to look for proof of that. But when you begin to plant gratitude, even in small ways, the garden changes. You begin to notice support. You begin to notice help. You begin to notice small miracles. You begin to notice that life has not stopped loving you. This is why gratitude is not small. It may look simple, but it is powerful. It turns the eyes toward the good, and what you look for, you often begin to find. I bless what is here. I bless what is coming. I bless the space between. Let those words be gentle. Let them meet you where you are. You do not have to feel deeply grateful for everything. You do not have to be grateful for pain before you are ready. Start with what feels true. Start with one simple thing: the taste of clean water, the warmth of a blanket, the sound of your own breath, the fact that your heart, even after everything, still wants peace. That is a miracle. Maybe you have a glass of water near you, maybe tea, maybe a simple meal from earlier. Notice the taste, even in memory. Notice how life gives through small things. Water enters the body and helps it keep going. Food becomes strength. Warmth becomes comfort. Rest becomes healing. These things may seem ordinary, but when the heart is tired, ordinary blessings become holy. Do not miss them while waiting for something larger. The new chapter is not only waiting far away in the future, it is also arriving through the way you meet this moment. If you meet this moment with only fear, you may miss the good that is already trying to show itself. But if you meet this moment with even a little gratitude, your energy begins to change. Fear says, there is not enough. Gratitude says, something is already here. Fear says, I am empty. Gratitude says, life is still giving. Fear says, nothing is working. Gratitude says, something is quietly supporting me. This does not mean you never feel fear. It means fear is no longer the only voice you feed. My dear, there is a deep peace that comes when you stop waiting for life to be perfect before you say thank you. You can say thank you in the middle. Thank you while healing. Thank you while learning. Thank you while waiting. Thank you while the path is still forming. Thank you while the new door is not fully open yet. Thank you for what is leaving. Thank you for what is coming. Thank you for what is already quietly healing. This kind of gratitude helps you release the old without bitterness. It helps you welcome the new without panic. It helps you stand in the space between with a softer heart. The space between can be hard. You may not be where you were, but you may not yet be where you want to be. You may feel like a seed under the soil. You cannot see the flower yet. You cannot see the full shape of what is growing, but growth is still happening in the dark. A seed does not panic because it cannot see the sun yet. It trusts the process of becoming. It lets the roots grow first. This is important. Roots come before flowers. Inner strength comes before outer change. Quiet healing comes before the visible blessing. The hidden work matters. The days when nothing seems to be happening may be the very days when your roots are growing deeper. So bless the root season. Bless the hidden work. Bless the quiet days when you are learning to trust yourself. Bless the moments when you choose not to return to an old pattern. Bless the breath you take instead of reacting from fear. Bless the small act of speaking kindly to yourself. These are not small things. They are roots. And when the roots become strong, the flower can rise. I am grateful for the hidden growth. I am grateful for the peace returning to me. I am grateful for the good that is finding its way. Tonight, before sleep, write 5 small blessings. Not 5 perfect blessings, not 5 huge blessings. 5 small ones. The warm drink, the soft bed, the message that helped your heart, the strength to keep going, the breath that stayed with you. If the day was very hard, write the smallest things you can find. I made it through today. I drank water. I felt one moment of quiet. I did not give up. I am still here. That is enough. Gratitude is not a contest. It is a practice of noticing. It teaches the mind to look again. It says, yes, there is pain, but there is also support. Yes, there is waiting, but there is also growth. Yes, there is uncertainty, but there is also breath. And as you practice this, something begins to shift. The mind becomes less trained to expect only disappointment. The heart becomes more open to receive. The body begins to feel safer. You start to notice the ways life is answering you quietly. Maybe through a peaceful thought. Maybe through a person who speaks kindly. Maybe through a delay that later makes sense. Maybe through the stream, GTH to say no. Maybe through the courage to begin again. The more you notice, the more you understand that life has not been silent. You may have simply been listening mostly to fear. Gratitude helps you hear the softer voice of love. Love says, look here. Love says, this is still good. Love says, you are being cared for. Love says, more is possible. When you bless what is already here, you stop standing in the energy of lack. You stop telling life that nothing is enough. You begin to say, I see the good. I honor the good. I am open to more good. That openness matters. A closed heart may miss a blessing because it does not come in the expected form. An open heart can say, this is different from what I planned, but it may still be good. Gratitude helps you stay open. You may have asked for peace, and life may first show you what must leave. You may have asked for love, and life may first teach you to stop abandoning yourself. You may have asked for abundance, and life may first help you heal the fear that says you are not worthy to receive. You may have asked for a new beginning, and life may first clear the old story from your hands. Give thanks for the clearing. Give thanks for the learning. Give thanks for the strength that is forming in you. Not because it was always easy, but because you are becoming more free. My dear, you are not the same person you were before this season began. Even if you cannot see all the change yet, something in you is growing. Something in you is softer. Something in you is wiser. Something in you knows that you can no longer live from the old fear in the same way. That is worth blessing. Thank yourself for surviving. Thank yourself for caring. Thank yourself for trying again. Thank yourself for choosing this moment of peace. Sometimes the gratitude you need most is gratitude toward yourself. Not pride in a hard way, not pretending you did everything perfectly. Just a gentle thank you. Thank you, body, for carrying me. Thank you, heart, for staying open. Thank you, soul, for guiding me back to love. This kind of gratitude heals shame. It tells the self, you are not my enemy. It brings warmth into places that have been judged for too long. It helps the new chapter arrive because the new chapter needs you to be on your own side. So when you write your 5 small blessings, include yourself among them. I am grateful I kept going. I am grateful I am learning. I am grateful I am willing to receive good. Let those words be seeds. Plant them tonight. Water them tomorrow. Let them grow in the garden of your mind. And when fear says nothing is happening, answer with gratitude. Say, something is growing under the soil. When worry says, I cannot see the result, answer, roots are forming. When doubt says, what if this never changes, answer, I bless the small good that is here and I open to more. This is how gratitude helps the new chapter arrive. Not by forcing life, not by pretending, not by rushing the flower, but by tending the soil. I bless what is here. I bless what is coming. I bless the space between. Thank you. And more is coming. What I am about to share is gentle, but it may change the way you see the next few days. The signs are not always loud. They are not always dramatic. They are not always so clear that the mind has no questions left. Sometimes the signs are quiet, so quiet that you may miss them if you are only looking for something big. Sometimes a sign is not a number, a word, or an event. Sometimes a sign is the way your body relaxes around one choice and tightens around another. Sometimes a sign is the peace that comes after you stop forcing. Sometimes a sign is the calm that arrives when you finally tell yourself the truth. Look closer. Something may already be speaking to you. You may have been waiting for life to shout when life has been whispering. You may have been looking for proof outside you while your own heart has been giving you soft answers. You may have been asking for a sign while every part of your body has been saying, "This way feels lighter, that way feels heavy." The old mind says, "Nothing is happening." The soul says, "Look again. Peace is already beginning." The old mind says, "If it were real, it would be obvious." The soul says, "The sacred often arrives softly." The old mind says, "I need proof now." The soul says, "Feel what brings you back to yourself." My dear, realignment often begins with small signs because your heart needs to learn trust in simple ways. If everything came all at once, the mind might still panic. If every answer arrived in one day, the body might not know how to receive it. So life often leads gently, one small piece, one quiet yes, one honest no, one thought that keeps returning, one door that feels lighter than the rest. It is here. Maybe you notice the quiet hum in the room. Maybe there is silence between sounds. Maybe the air conditioner turns off for a moment and the room becomes still. In that small stillness, listen to your own heart, not with pressure, not trying to pull an answer from it. Just listen. What feels peaceful? What feels forced? What feels like love? What feels like fear wearing the mask of duty? These questions can become signs. Your body is not your enemy. Your feelings are not always the full truth, but they often carry messages. A tight chest may be asking for honesty. A tired body may be asking for rest. A calm breath may be showing you where peace lives. A soft feeling in the heart may be saying, "There is something good here." You do not need to make every feeling mean everything. Just begin to notice. Notice what drains you. Notice what gives you peace. Notice what makes you shrink. Notice what helps you stand taller. Notice who brings calm to your nervous system. Notice who brings confusion again and again. Notice where your soul can breathe. These are quiet signs, and when you begin to see them, you begin to understand that life has been guiding you in ways you may have ignored before. I notice the small signs of good. I trust the quiet ways life speaks to me. I am willing to be guided gently. Sometimes the sign is a closed door. You may not like that one at first. A close. The door can feel like rejection. It can feel like silence. It can feel like life is saying no. But sometimes a closed door is one of the kindest signs. It tells you, not here. It tells you, this is not the place for your peace. It tells you, stop trying to enter a room that cannot honor your heart. Sometimes the sign is a delay. You may feel impatient. You may wonder why things are not moving faster. But a delay can be a holy pause. It can be time for you to heal, time for another person to grow, time for a better path to form, time for your energy to become calm enough to receive without fear. Sometimes the sign is a sudden feeling of peace. Nothing outside has changed, but inside something loosens. Your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, your mind stops fighting for a moment. That peace is not small. It may be life saying, "You are closer than you think." Sometimes the sign is an old pattern losing power. A situation that once pulled you in no longer feels tempting. A person who once made you chase now makes you pause. A fear that once controlled you now feels like an old voice you do not have to obey. That is a sign of healing. Sometimes the sign is your own silence. You no longer need to explain as much. You no longer need to prove as much. You no longer feel the need to make everyone understand your path. You begin to trust your own heart quietly. That is a sign too. The world may not clap when you heal. There may be no loud music when you choose peace instead of the old pattern. But your soul knows. Your body knows. Life knows. Every time you choose peace, you are stepping into realignment. Every time you tell yourself the truth, you are stepping into realignment. Every time you stop chasing what makes you feel small, you are stepping into realignment. Every time you honor the soft yes or the clear no inside you, you are stepping into realignment. The signs are there, but they may not look the way fear expects. Fear expects signs to remove all risk. Love gives signs that invite trust. Fear wants a full map. Love gives the next step. Fear wants certainty before movement. Love gives peace as you move. That is why you must become quiet enough to feel the difference. I trust the next peaceful step. I trust the soft wisdom within me. I trust that life is speaking, even in simple ways. Do not chase signs with fear. That only creates more noise. Do not ask every little thing to carry a huge meaning. That can make the mind tired. Instead, live with open attention. Let life speak naturally. Let your heart respond simply. A true sign often brings a feeling of calm, even if the step takes courage. It does not always make the path easy, but it makes it feel honest. It does not always remove fear, but it brings a deeper knowing beneath the fear. It does not always give the whole answer, but it gives enough light for the next step. And the next step is enough. You may want the whole future to be clear before you trust. But life often gives light like a small lamp, not like the full sun. It shows the next part of the path. Then, when you walk that part, more is shown. This is how trust grows, step by step, breath by breath, sign by sign, not all at once. So in the next few days, watch gently. Notice what life repeats. Notice what brings peace. Notice what closes without force. Notice what opens without struggle. Notice the sentence that keeps coming back to your heart. Notice the small good. Notice the kind help. Notice the quiet strength that rises when you thought you had none. Do not call these things nothing. They are part of the way life speaks. Maybe everything is realigning for you through these small signs, not through one grand moment, but through many gentle moments that guide you back to yourself. The old mind may still say, "I need more proof." The soul may answer, "Peace is proof enough for the next step." The old mind may say, "What if I choose wrong?" The soul may answer, "You can choose again with love." The old mind may say, "I am scared." The soul may answer, "I know, come closer. We will walk slowly." This is not weakness. This is wisdom. You do not have to rush. You do not have to understand every sign the moment it appears. You can let life reveal itself. You can say, "Show me gently, guide me clearly, help me feel what is true." And then you can listen. When peace comes, listen. When your body softens, listen. When your heart feels open, listen. When something feels heavy again and again, listen. When a door closes, listen. When a quiet new door opens, listen. The signs are quiet, but they are there. Look closer. It is here. Everything is realigning for you, my dear, even if you can only see small pieces of it right now. You do not have to chase the new chapter with a tired heart. You do not have to force the river to move. You do not have to stand in the water and push the current with your hands. Life already knows how to flow. Your work is to stop fighting the direction that peace is trying to take you. Rest. There is a current beneath your life, a gentle current, a loving current. It has carried you through days you thought you could not survive. It has moved you through pain, change, fear, and waiting. It has brought you to this moment. And even now, when you may not understand everything, that current is still moving. It is not moving against you. It is moving with you. It is moving for you. Trust. Think of a river. It does not stop being a river just because you cannot see where it turns. It keeps flowing around rocks, through valleys, under bridges, past places of shadow and places of light. It does not need to know the whole way in order to move. Its nature is movement. Your life has that movement too. Even in stillness, something can be moving. Even in waiting, something can be forming. Even in silence, something can be healing. Even in loss, something can be making space. This is the deeper truth of realignment. It is not always about getting everything you wanted in the way you wanted it. Sometimes it is about being guided into what truly fits your soul. Sometimes it is about being carried away from what you kept trying to make work. Sometimes it is about learning to stop gripping the riverbank and finally let the current support you. All is well. Maybe not everything feels well yet. Maybe not every question has an answer. Maybe not every door is open. Maybe not every part of your heart is calm. But beneath the surface, a deeper wellness is still possible. A peace that does not depend on every detail being solved. A trust that can breathe in the unknown. A softness that says, I am willing to be carried. I allow peace to return. I allow life to guide me. I allow good to find me. I allow everything to realign for me. Let those words move slowly. Do not rush them. Let them become a rhythm in the body. I allow peace to return. This means you do not have to keep choosing the thought that hurts. You do not have to keep replaying the scene. You do not have to keep arguing with the past. Peace can return, even if only in small moments at first. I allow life to guide me. This means you do not have to know every step today. You can receive the next step. You can trust the soft nudge. You can let the path appear as you walk. I allow good to find me. This means you do not have to chase what is meant to meet you. You can become open. You can become ready. You can stop pushing good away with the belief that you do not deserve it. I allow everything to realign for me. This means you are willing to let life move what needs to move. You are willing to let old fear fall away. You are willing to stop forcing the wrong door. You are willing to let peace become your guide. Place your hand on your heart now, if that feels right. Feel the body beneath your hand. Feel how much it has carried. Feel how long it has tried. Feel how much it wants to rest. You do not have to hold so tightly anymore. You do not have to figure out the whole future tonight. You do not have to earn the right to be helped. You do not have to beg life to remember you. Life remembers you. Life knows where you are. Life knows what you have been through. Life knows what your heart is ready to release. Life knows what your soul is ready to receive. Sometimes the river slows because the water is deep. Sometimes your life seems quiet because deeper work is happening. Do not mistake quiet for absence. Do not mistake waiting for failure. Do not mistake a pause for a closed future. The river is still moving. Your healing is still moving. Your good is still moving. Your life is still moving. And you are moving too, even if it feels slow. You are moving each time you choose a kinder thought. You are moving each time you stop carrying what hurts. You are moving each time you notice a small blessing. You are moving each time you trust a quiet sign. You are moving each time you say, I do not have to return to the old way. That is progress. That is realignment. That is the new life beginning. Everything is realigning for you, but let it happen in the way that brings peace, not panic. Let it happen in the way that keeps your heart open, not clenched. Let it happen in the way that allows you to grow, not perform. Let it happen in the way that teaches you how safe it can be to trust life again. Maybe something better is not only coming to you. Maybe something better is also rising from within you, a clearer self, a softer self, a wiser self, a self that knows when to stay and when to leave, a self that knows how to receive without fear, a self that no longer calls chaos love, a self that can stand in the river and say, I trust where life is taking me. You were meant to see this today, not because you needed another thing to worry about, but because your heart needed to remember that it is not alone in this change. You are not being asked to force the next chapter. You are being invited to meet it with open hands. Open hands can receive. Open hands can bless. Open hands can let go. Open hands can trust the river. So breathe. Let the body sink a little deeper into the chair, the bed, or wherever you are. Let the heart soften under your hand. Let the mind stop running for just this moment. This moment is enough. This breath is enough. This small opening is enough. I am safe in this realignment. I am guided through this change. Good is finding its way to me now. Let that be the truth you carry forward, not fear, not pressure, not the old story. Carry this instead. Life is still loving you through the changes. Life is still guiding you through the unknown. Life is still opening the way in quiet, gentle, perfect timing. You were meant to see this today, my dear. Everything is realigning for you. All is well. As this message settles into your heart, let yourself become very still for a moment. Not frozen, not tense, just still. Still enough to feel the truth beneath the noise. Still enough to notice that you have survived every day you once feared. Still enough to remember that the same life that carried you then is carrying you now. You may not know exactly what comes next. That is okay. You do not need to know everything to be safe. You do not need to have every answer to be guided. You do not need to see the whole river to trust the next gentle movement of the water. Right now, all you need is this breath, this moment, this soft return to yourself. Let the past be at peace as much as it can be today. You do not have to drag it into every new morning. You do not have to keep asking old pain for permission to heal. You do not have to prove that you were hurt before you allow yourself to become free. Let the future take care of its own unfolding. You do not have to reach ahead and pull every answer into your hands. You do not have to force timing. You do not have to control every person, every door, every sign, every outcome. What is meant for your peace will meet you in a way your soul can recognize. And let this moment be enough. The place where you breathe, the place where you soften, the place where you remember. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being guided back into alignment with the life that can truly hold your heart. Maybe something is leaving. Maybe something is changing. Maybe something is taking longer than you hoped. Maybe something feels unclear. But even here, love is present. Even here, peace can begin. Even here, a new path can open. So place your hand on your heart one last time and speak gently to yourself. I am safe. I am guided. I am open to good. I release what is heavy. I receive what is meant for me. Do not rush. Let each word land softly. Let it touch the places inside you that have been tired of fighting. Let it touch the places that have been waiting for proof. Let it touch the places that want to believe life can become lighter. It can. One breath at a time. One kind thought at a time. One open hand at a time. One peaceful choice at a time. Your life does not need to change all at once for healing to begin. A small change in your heart can become the beginning of everything. A small act of trust can open a door. A small moment of gratitude can soften the day. A small choice to stop chasing can bring your energy back home. You are coming back home to yourself. That is the real miracle. Not only the outer blessing, not only the open door, not only the answer you have been waiting for. The real miracle is the way your heart is learning to stop abandoning itself. The real miracle is the way your spirit is learning to breathe again. The real miracle is the way peace is finding you even before everything is solved. And as you move through the next few days, remember this: the signs may be quiet, but they are there. The change may be slow, but it is still real. The path may bend, but it is still guiding you. The river may turn, but it is still carrying you. You do not have to force. You do not have to chase. You do not have to prove. You can allow. You can trust. You can receive. I allow peace to return. I allow life to guide me. I allow good to find me. I allow everything to realign for me. And so, with a softer heart and a calmer breath, let this be the truth you carry now. You were meant to see this today. Everything is realigning for you, and all is well.